Welcome to HD Rare Coins 111, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. In 1980, a small but remarkable coin rolled out of the United States Mint, a Lincoln 1-cent penny that would, over time, earn its place among the most fascinating coins in American history. To the average eye, it looked like every other penny in circulation, but for collectors and coin hunters, the 1980 Lincoln cent carries secrets worth thousands of dollars. The year 1980 was a time of change and transition in American coinage. Technology was improving, minting processes were evolving, and yet, as always, the smallest mistakes in production could create the most valuable treasures. This coin, bearing the image of Abraham Lincoln, was struck from copper, one of the last eras before the transition to zinc-based cents in 1982. That alone gives it a nostalgic value, connecting it to the earlier, heavier pennies that Americans had carried for generations. On the obverse side, we see Victor David Brenner's timeless design, the bold profile of Lincoln, facing right, surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust." Above his head, Liberty, to the left, and the date, 1980, to the right. Beneath the date, you might notice a tiny mint mark, either a D for Denver or no mint mark at all for Philadelphia. The reverse side features the famous Lincoln Memorial design, crafted by Frank Gasparo in 1959. Look closely, and you can even spot the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, a detail that amazed many when first discovered. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. While billions of 1980 pennies were made, not all of them came out perfect. Some were struck with subtle, yet incredible minting errors that make them exceptionally rare. For example, a few 1980 Lincoln cents show signs of doubling on the inscriptions, most commonly on the words, "Liberty," and "In God We Trust." These are known as double-die obverse errors, and they can transform a 1-cent coin into a collector's dream. Other error types include off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't properly aligned in the press, creating a coin that looks like a slice of history frozen mid-production. The more off-center it is, the higher the value tends to climb. There are also broad strike errors, where the coin was struck without the collar that normally keeps it round. These coins appear slightly larger and smoother at the edges, fascinating variations that collectors love. Even minor die cracks or chips, sometimes forming raised lines across the surface, can make a 1980 penny unique. These small imperfections tell a story about the minting process, about the intense pressure, heat, and timing involved in striking millions of coins every day. But one of the most sought-after versions of the 1980 penny is the proof strike from San Francisco, marked with an S. These were specially made for collectors, featuring mirror-like finishes and razor-sharp details. Proof coins like these were never meant for circulation, but occasionally, one slips out into everyday use, instantly making it an exciting discovery. Collectors always check for the coin's metal content too. Because the 1980 penny is still made of 95% copper, it's heavier and more durable than the modern zinc ones. That extra metal not only gives it a classic feel but also adds to its collector appeal. In the world of numismatics, small changes in weight, tone, or surface texture can be major indicators of a rare minting variety. Some 1980 pennies even display variations in the mint mark itself, hand-punched slightly off position or with doubling around the letter. Grading plays an essential role in determining how valuable a coin truly is. A 1980 penny found in uncirculated condition, free of scratches and rich in original luster, can be worth far more than one that's worn from years of use. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC assess every detail, the color, strike quality, and condition, before giving the coin an official grade. The highest grades, like MS67 or MS68, are where the value really shines. For example, a 1980 penny with perfect luster, sharp details, and no visible marks can easily attract major attention from collectors and investors alike. But what really excites collectors are those extraordinary combinations, coins with both rare errors and top-grade preservation. Those are the ones that make history at auctions. Imagine finding a penny in your change, only to discover it's a rare doubled die from 1980 worth tens of thousands of dollars. It sounds unbelievable, but that's the magic of coin collecting. Treasures often hide in plain sight. The 1980 Lincoln penny also represents a bridge between two important eras: the age of traditional copper cents and the modern era of zinc-based coinage. It stands as a farewell to an American classic. For collectors who value history, symbolism, and rarity, this coin carries all three. It's not just a piece of metal, it's a story, a reflection of America's evolving economy and craftsmanship. Each 1980 penny you find is a tiny time capsule, holding echoes of the past, yet still glimmering in the present. It connects us to an era when coins were built to last and crafted with pride. Every collector dreams of discovering that perfect example, a flawless strike, an unusual error, or a coin that simply survived the decades untouched. It's amazing to think that a coin so small could hold such big potential. And in the case of the 1980 Lincoln cent, some truly have. Over the years, collectors have paid incredible prices for the finest examples of this coin, especially those with unique minting characteristics and pristine preservation. So, the next time you find a 1980 penny in your pocket or jar of change, take a moment to look closer. Check the date, inspect the details, and who knows, you might be holding a rare and valuable piece of American history. Among the rarest and most flawless examples ever discovered, a 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny has been valued at $100,000. If you have any interesting or old coins in your collection, share them in the comments below so we can explore their stories and values in upcoming videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, comment with your favorite finds, and give this video a big thumbs up to support our growing community of coin collectors and enthusiasts. Top 2. In 1986, the United States Mint produced a coin that may look like a simple piece of copper-plated metal, but for collectors, it's one of the most fascinating modern pennies ever made. The 1986 Lincoln 1-cent penny has become a symbol of hidden treasure in everyday change, proof that even the smallest coin can hold extraordinary value. This coin carries the proud image of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been an American icon since 1909. Over the years, it's seen subtle changes, yet the spirit of Lincoln remains timeless. By 1986, the penny had already transitioned from its original copper composition to a copper-plated zinc format introduced in 1982. That switch marked a new era for U.S. coinage. Lighter, more economical, and yet still filled with the same historic character. For coin enthusiasts, the 1986 penny represents the heart of this new generation. On the obverse side, Victor David Brenner's design showcases Lincoln's right-facing portrait, surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1986. A tiny mint mark under the date reveals where it was made, D for Denver or no mark for Philadelphia. Turn the coin over, and you'll find Frank Gasparo's elegant depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, which had graced the reverse since 1959. It's a design rich with symbolism, showing Lincoln seated within his own monument, a tribute to leadership and unity. Although the 1986 penny was minted in the hundreds of millions, not all coins came out perfectly. That's what makes this coin so captivating. Hidden among the billions are a few rare varieties and minting errors worth thousands of dollars. Some of these rare pieces exhibit doubling on the obverse, particularly in the words, "Liberty," or "In God We Trust." This doubling happens when the die strikes the coin twice by mistake, creating a fascinating and valuable visual effect. Other coins show off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting. This leads to part of the design being missing or shifted, giving it a one-of-a-kind appearance. Then there are broad strike errors, where the collar that normally shapes the rim was missing. These coins spread slightly outward, creating a wider, smoother edge, a clear signal of a minting mishap. Collectors are also drawn to the occasional die cracks found on 1986 pennies. These appear as raised lines or cuds on the coin, caused by breaks in the die used to stamp them. The more dramatic the crack, the higher the interest, and the value. Because the 1986 penny was made from copper-plated zinc, it's also prone to slight variations in plating thickness. Some coins show bubbling, missing copper layers, or odd color tones, details that make them unique in the eyes of collectors. The most desirable examples are those in pristine condition, uncirculated, with bright luster and no wear. When such coins are professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC, their value can skyrocket. Mint state grades of MS66 or higher are particularly prized, especially if the coin also displays a rare error or die variation. These top-quality specimens often attract fierce competition among collectors. Proof versions of the 1986 penny were struck at the San Francisco Mint, bearing an S Mint mark. These coins were made with special care, featuring mirror-like fields and frosted details. They were sold directly to collectors, and their flawless beauty makes them a joy to behold. Even though proof coins weren't meant for circulation, a few have surfaced in regular change over the years, each one an exciting find that gets the numismatic community talking. Beyond errors in condition, part of what makes the 1986 penny so significant is its place in history. It represents a time of modernization at the Mint, when precision machinery was replacing older methods. Yet, ironically, errors still slip through. That human element, the chance for imperfection, is exactly what makes these coins so appealing to collectors today. Every mistake tells a story about the people, the process, and the era that produced it. Sometimes, collectors even find transitional varieties, coins struck with features from one year accidentally carried over to another. These are incredibly rare and can bring astonishing prices when authenticated. Imagine the thrill of discovering a 1986 penny with a doubled die or an off-center strike in your pocket change. That moment of realization, that you might be holding a small piece of history worth a fortune, is what keeps collectors searching. The coin's copper-plated surface gives it a warm glow, but beneath that shine lies a deeper connection to the legacy of Lincoln and American resilience. Over the years, stories have emerged of 1986 pennies selling at high-end auctions, their values driven by rarity, condition, and collector passion. These coins remind us that history can live in our hands, sometimes in the form of a penny we nearly overlook. The artistry of Brenner and Gasparo, the precision of minting, and the unpredictability of human error all come together in the 1986 Lincoln cent. It's not just currency, it's craftsmanship. Even the sound of the coin hitting a tabletop feels nostalgic, evoking memories of the days when pennies mattered in everyday transactions, from candy stores to payphones. Today, that same penny can matter again, but in a completely different way. For those who understand its story, the 1986 Lincoln 1-cent piece is a treasure waiting to be rediscovered. So, before you dismiss that little brown coin in your drawer, take a second look. You might be holding something far more special than you think. Among the rarest and most valuable examples ever found, a 1986 Lincoln 1-cent penny has been valued at $83,000. If you have interesting or old coins in your collection, share them in the comments below so we can help you learn their history and value. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, comment with your favorite coin stories, and give this video a big thumbs up to support our amazing community of collectors and treasure hunters. Top 3. In 1988, the United States Mint produced a small coin that carried the image of one of the greatest American presidents, Abraham Lincoln. But hidden among the billions of Lincoln pennies minted that year lies a story of mystery, rarity, and incredible value. The 1988 Lincoln 1-cent penny may seem ordinary at first glance, but for coin collectors, it's a year full of surprises and hidden treasures. By 1988, the Lincoln cent had already been a familiar part of American life for nearly 8 decades. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday and quickly became one of the most beloved designs in U.S. coin history. Over the years, it witnessed subtle design and metal composition changes, yet its meaning remained constant, a tribute to honesty, perseverance, and leadership. In 1988, the penny was struck in copper-plated zinc, a formula introduced in 1982 to save production costs. This change gave the coin a lighter weight but also introduced new possibilities for minting errors, and some of those mistakes turned out to be worth thousands. The obverse features Victor David Brenner's classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, facing right, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," above, "Liberty" on the left, and the date, 1988, to the right. Beneath the date, you might see a small mint mark, D for Denver, or none at all for Philadelphia. On the reverse, Frank Gasparo's elegant design of the Lincoln Memorial remains, detailed, symmetrical, and deeply American. Hidden within the memorial, if you look closely, is the tiny figure of Lincoln seated between the columns, a tiny work of art most people never notice. While billions of 1988 pennies were minted, collectors discovered something extraordinary, a special and rare variety known as the 1988 reverse of 1989 penny. This unusual coin is what truly sets the 1988 penny apart in numismatic history. This rare variety was created when the mint accidentally used a 1989 reverse die on a batch of 1988 coins. The difference between the two reverses lies in subtle design details, most notably, the shape of the G in America, and the positioning of the initials, FG, near the Lincoln Memorial. To the untrained eye, these differences are nearly invisible. But to coin experts, the 1988 reverse of 1989 variety is a treasure, a genuine minting mistake that slipped past quality control and made it into circulation. Collectors love this coin because it's an accidental bridge between two minting years, a perfect example of how small details can lead to big discoveries. In top condition, these rare transitional era coins can fetch incredible prices, especially when authenticated by grading services like PCGS or NGC. Beyond this famous variety, there are other 1988 pennies with double die errors, off-center strikes, and die cracks, all of which make each coin unique and potentially valuable. A double die error, for example, can cause the words, "Liberty," or "In God We Trust," to appear slightly shadowed or doubled. These errors are visual proof that even the most precise machinery can make beautiful mistakes. Off-center strikes, on the other hand, happen when the coin blank isn't properly aligned with the dies. The result is a partial design, part missing, part complete, a type of flaw that collectors find fascinating. Then there are die cracks or cuds, where the metal shows raised lines or blobs caused by a broken die. These are small but important signs that the coin was made during a moment of mechanical stress at the mint. Mint marks also make a difference in collectability. The 1988 D penny from Denver and the 1988 no mint mark penny from Philadelphia can each have their own distinct era varieties. Some collectors even report minor doubling or die deterioration unique to one mint. When it comes to condition, the key is luster and sharpness. Uncirculated 1988 pennies, especially those kept in mint rolls or sets, can shine with beautiful copper tones. These coins often grade higher and command better prices in the collector's market. Proof coins from 1988, struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark, were made for collectors only. They feature mirror-like backgrounds and frosted details, truly stunning pieces of modern minting art. Even though proof coins rarely circulate, they're prized for their precision and beauty. Finding one in pristine condition can feel like uncovering a gem. Over the decades, the 1988 penny has become a symbol of transition, not just between coin designs, but between the old ways of minting and the more modern, computer-aided processes that followed. Yet, even in this age of machines and automation, human oversight still played a role, allowing rare varieties like the reverse of 1989 to escape into the world. This coin tells a deeper story, one about imperfection and how even mistakes can become masterpieces when time passes and collectors start to look closer. For many enthusiasts, the 1988 penny is a reminder that every coin has a history, every scratch has a story, and every minting year has its secrets waiting to be found. Who knows how many of these rare 1988 transitional pennies are still out there, sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, and coin rolls across America? That's what makes coin hunting so exciting. It's not about luck, it's about curiosity, patience, and a keen eye for detail. So the next time you see a 1988 penny, take a moment to look closer at the reverse design. you might be staring at one of the most valuable modern pennies ever struck. Among the rarest examples of this coin ever found, a 1988 Lincoln 1-cent penny has been valued at $77,000. If you have any rare, old, or unusual coins in your collection, share them in the comments so we can help you learn more about their value and history. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, comment below about your favorite coins, and give this video a big thumbs up to join our amazing community of coin collectors and enthusiasts. Top 4. In the mid-1990s, when the world was buzzing with new technology and modern changes, the U.S. Mint quietly produced a coin that would later capture the attention of collectors across the globe: the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1995. What makes this coin so special isn't just its age or its design, but a fascinating era that turned an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. The 1995 Lincoln penny may look like any other cent at first glance. It's small, copper-colored, and bears the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. But hidden among the billions of these coins lies a rare version that has become one of the most famous modern pennies ever discovered. To understand its story, we need to go back to the minting presses of 1995. That year, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia and Denver produced over 13 billion Lincoln cents. But deep within those machines, something unexpected happened, an engraving error that no one noticed until much later. The design of the Lincoln penny, originally created by Victor David Brenner in 1909, was meant to celebrate a century since Lincoln's birth. Over the decades, it became one of America's most recognized coins, with its simple portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. In 1995, however, one particular die used in Philadelphia was slightly misaligned during the engraving process. This caused a second, faint image of the word, Liberty, and Lincoln's profile to appear, creating the famous 1995 double-die obverse penny. To the naked eye, the doubling might seem subtle, but under magnification, it's clear and distinct. The letters in Liberty and In God We Trust appear doubled, making it one of the clearest double-die errors of the modern era. When collectors began to notice this error, the excitement was immediate. It was the first major double-die penny since the famous 1955 Lincoln cent, and it quickly earned its place among the most desirable coins in American history. Even though millions of pennies were struck that year, only a small number of the 1995 double-die examples exist. That rarity has kept collectors searching through pocket change and old jars for decades in hopes of finding one. The coin's value largely depends on its condition. In circulated grades, it might fetch a few $100s, but in pristine mint state condition, the value skyrockets into the thousands. Professional graders have identified some examples in top condition, showing sharp details, blazing luster, and perfect surfaces, and those are the ones that bring the biggest prices. Collectors prize this coin not only for its rarity but also for its clarity. The doubling on the 1995 penny is crisp and unmistakable, a true collector's delight that defines what an era coin should look like. What makes this coin even more special is how accessible it once was. For years after its discovery, people were finding these coins in regular circulation, proof that treasures can still be hidden in everyday change. The 1995 penny also marked a turning point in modern minting history. After the excitement surrounding this era, the mint improved its die creation process to prevent similar mistakes in the future. But for collectors, that change only made the existing 1995 double-die pennies even more valuable, because no more would ever be made again. Over time, the coin has become a symbol of hope for casual coin hunters. Every time someone checks their loose change, they wonder, could I have one of those rare 1995 pennies? The thrill of the hunt keeps the story of this coin alive, fueling a new generation of collectors eager to uncover forgotten pieces of numismatic history. Even among professional collectors, the 1995 double-die penny holds a special place. It bridges the gap between the classic era coins of the 1950s and the modern minting era, proving that even in an age of advanced technology, mistakes can still happen. Its charm lies in its story, a small flaw that turned into a big fortune. The doubling was never meant to happen, yet it transformed a 1-cent coin into a piece of history worth thousands. Beyond its monetary value, the 1995 penny represents something deeper: the idea that hidden treasures can appear where we least expect them. Many collectors proudly display this coin in their collections as a reminder that great discoveries often come from small beginnings. The design itself still captures the legacy of Lincoln, his wisdom, leadership, and timeless influence on American values. That combination of history, artistry, and era makes this coin so captivating. And while most people may overlook a penny on the ground, coin enthusiasts know better. Every cent has a story, and sometimes that story can be worth a fortune. In recent years, high-grade 1995 double-die pennies have set impressive records at auctions, proving that interest in this coin hasn't faded with time. It remains one of the most famous era coins of the 20th century, celebrated by collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. So if you ever find a 1995 Lincoln penny, take a close look, check the words, Liberty, and In God We Trust. You might be holding something truly remarkable, because among all the coins minted that year, a handful of these rare 1995 pennies have stunned collectors with their incredible worth. One such extraordinary example, perfectly preserved with its clear doubled features, has been valued at an astonishing $65,000. If you own a 1995 Lincoln penny or have an interesting coin in your collection, share your story in the comments below so we can help you learn more about it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating coin stories, and make sure to like this video to support our growing community of collectors and treasure hunters. Top 5. In the world of coin collecting, even the smallest coin can tell a story worth listening to, and the 1996 Lincoln 1-cent penny is one such story. This little copper-plated piece might look like pocket change to most, but to collectors with sharp eyes, it's a coin of mystery, rarity, and incredible value. Hidden among the billions struck that year are a few that carry hidden details and minting errors, making them treasures worth thousands. The year 1996 marked another chapter in the long history of the Lincoln cent, a coin that had already been in circulation for nearly 9 decades. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse remained a timeless symbol of American strength and unity. Yet, despite the design's familiarity, the 1996 edition would quietly produce some of the most fascinating pennies ever found in modern times. At first glance, the 1996 penny seems unremarkable. It bears Lincoln's thoughtful portrait on the front, the word, Liberty, to his left, and the year, 1996, stamped boldly beneath his chin. But some collectors began noticing something different: a doubling of letters, a misaligned design, or a shine that stood out from regular coins. Those small differences would soon send shockwaves through the collecting world. The U.S. Mint produced 6.6 billion pennies in Philadelphia, 7.1 billion in Denver, and nearly a billion more in San Francisco for proof sets that year. With such enormous numbers, finding a single rare penny seemed nearly impossible. But that's what makes this coin story so exciting. The treasure hunt is real, and the rewards can be life-changing. One of the most well-known varieties from 1996 is the double-die penny. In this minting error, part of the design is struck twice, creating a faint doubling effect on the date, the word, Liberty, or the phrase, In God We Trust. Under magnification, the details appear as if they are slightly shadowed, giving the coin an almost 3D look. Collectors adore these doubled dies because no two are exactly alike. Each one captures a unique minting moment, a tiny glitch frozen in metal that transforms a 1-cent coin into a piece of history. Finding one is like discovering a secret hidden by the mint itself. Aside from doubling, some 1996 pennies are known for off-center strikes. These are coins that were not perfectly aligned during minting, leaving part of the design missing and part of the blank planchet visible. The more off-center the design, the more valuable the coin can become, especially if the full date is still visible. Another rare and fascinating error is the die crack. These are caused when the minting die begins to wear out or break, leaving thin raised lines or bumps across Lincoln's face or the reverse building of the Lincoln Memorial. Such features are unintentional but add significant interest and value. Then there are the transitional errors, coins struck on planchets meant for another year or denomination. These are extremely rare but have been confirmed for other Lincoln cents of the era. If a 1996 penny was mistakenly struck on a bronze planchet instead of zinc, it could be worth thousands. The reverse design still featured the Grand Lincoln Memorial, with the tiny seated statue of Lincoln visible between the columns. Even after decades of production, this reverse design, introduced in 1959, continued to hold a special place in American hearts, symbolizing unity and remembrance. What fascinates collectors even more about the 1996 penny is that it sits right before a major transition. In just a few years, the reverse design would change to the Lincoln Bicentennial and Shield series. So, in a way, the 1996 penny marks the end of an era, the final stretch of the classic Lincoln Memorial design. Coins from this year that are in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially those graded MS-67 or higher by professional services, are exceptionally valuable. Their surfaces gleam with mirror-like luster, free of the scratches and wear that come from years in pockets and cash registers. It's always thrilling when an ordinary-looking coin turns out to be something special. Imagine sorting through a jar of pennies, and one of them catches the light differently. You look closer, the letters seem doubled, or the rim looks odd. That's how many incredible finds begin, with curiosity and attention. Over the years, collectors have reported amazing discoveries. Some 1996 pennies with visible doubling or striking errors have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. But the most remarkable examples, those in perfect mint state with dramatic errors, have reached truly impressive amounts. What makes this coin so intriguing is its accessibility. The 1996 penny is not centuries old, not locked away in museums, but still floating in everyday circulation. Anyone could find one, maybe in their own change, maybe in an old family jar of coins. Many collectors say this is what keeps the Lincoln cent fascinating, that even in modern times, surprises still appear. Each year of Lincoln pennies carries its own quirks and mysteries, and 1996 is no exception. If you want to start looking, grab a magnifying glass and start inspecting the small details. Focus on the date, the lettering, and the rim. You never know when you'll spot something extraordinary. The Philadelphia and Denver mint marks are your clues. Coins without a mint mark come from Philadelphia, while those with a small d below the date hail from Denver. Both can contain valuable errors, but Denver-struck coins are particularly known for sharper doubling varieties. Mint state examples and rolls or uncirculated sets are a collector's best friend. These untouched coins reveal the smallest minting details and help identify the rare varieties. That's why coin roll hunting remains one of the most popular hobbies among enthusiasts today. Even proof coins from the San Francisco Mint deserve attention. Struck with mirrored surfaces and razor-sharp detail, these special editions were made for collectors, and some have their own unique imperfections. The thrill of collecting is that every coin tells a story, and every discovery feels like finding buried treasure. The 1996 Lincoln penny continues to inspire that excitement in coin lovers across the world. So next time you hold a penny from 1996, take a closer look. That tiny coin could hold more history and more value than you ever imagined. Hidden among billions, just a few of these Lincoln pennies are worth a small fortune today. One pristine 1996 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring the right kind of minting error and in top uncirculated condition, has been valued at an astonishing $62,000. If you have a 1996 Lincoln penny, tell us about it in the comments below, and we'll help you find out more about your coin. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin stories like this one, and make sure to like this video to keep the treasure hunt alive.